Hi guys, it's nail day and I'm going to take you along with me and show you how I've been doing nails at home. Now I'd say I'm still beginner level. I've only started doing my own nails at home in August. So just as a little disclaimer, I'm not a licensed nail tech. I learned all of this on my own. So if you're thinking of starting to do nails at home, please do all of your own research as well and don't just take my word on it because there are risks when you're working with all of these different chemicals. This is my current set. I loved it. I'm sad it's grown out already, but I'm ready for a new one. I've done quite a few fall sets now, so I think I'm ready to switch it up and do kind of a more ethereal, softer vibe. So let's get started. I'm first going to trim off the excess extension, leaving a little bit of my natural nail growth. I'm trying to grow out my nails a little bit. Now I'm placing my Melodysusie dust collector, and I'm also using my Melodysusie e-file. I'm going to be using this drill bit, and I'm going to be removing all of the gel polish as well as the extra bulk so the soak off is quicker. I forgot I have some gems to remove, and I'm just using these clippers to take them off. This part can be a little bit loud, so please enjoy the satisfying time lapse. And for this part and most parts, I do wear a face mask. I'm now taking this small sanding band from Melodysusie, and this is kind of a dulled out one, and I'm just going to make sure I have all of the gel polish around the edges off with this. This is just able to get into the nooks and crannies a lot easier, and it's not as coarse. To do my soak off, I'm going to be using 100% acetone, some of these little cotton rounds split in half, and these little clips. They're all on. Now I'm just gonna go chill for a while until it's time to scrape it off. I'm seeing where I'm at here. I think I still have a little bit to go. Some of them need a little bit more soaking, but some of them are ready. Okay, hopefully they've soaked enough. I get so impatient with soak-offs. I do have the Jello peel-off base, but I can only get my nails to last like 1.5 weeks with that stuff, and I just don't have time to always do my nails. It's time for some cuticle care. I'm using my Sally Hansen Instant Cuticle Remover. I really like this one. I just put it alongside my cuticles, and then I take my cuticle pusher and I just super gently push them back. And then I'll take the other side to kind of clean anything off my nail plate. And while I do this, I kind of create a little bit of a pocket just so that it's a little easier to avoid flooding the cuticle later when I add some gel polishes. And I'm taking this drill bit now to kind of slightly buff up where my new growth is, just so that my new extensions adhere really well. And I'm going at a super low RPM just so I don't go overboard here. And this will also remove anything left on your nail plate. Now I'm going to just wipe my nails using some alcohol and a lint-free wipe, and then we'll get to sizing up my extensions. These are the tips I'll be using today, the Aprés Gel X Natural Almond Mediums. And when you're sizing your extensions, you want them to fit sidewall to sidewall. If you're in between sizes, always go for the bigger one. If they're a little bit big, that's okay. You can file down the sides, because if you like force fit a smaller size and you like push it down to make it fit, over the next couple days, it might detach like this and your nails might pop off. I sized up all of my extensions. Now I'm going to etch the inside with my e-file. I like to use my e-file. I feel like it's fast, and it also files down the little number. I once just did it with primer and I felt like the little number on the inside here made my nails pop off quicker, so I like to just etch it with my e-file. Okay, I'm setting up now. I gloved up one hand because things get a little sticky from here on out. I like to do my extensions on one hand at a time. So let's start. I'm going to dehydrate my nails. You can use 70% alcohol, but I have this, so I'll use this. This just makes sure that there's no moisture on your nails or any oils or anything. Then I'm going to prime as well. And I only use a little bit of this. If I use too much, I find my nails pop off early. Now that my nails are nice and primed, I need to get like a hand razor, but I use my little nail lamp here. But now I'm going to take my Aprés Extend Gel and I'm going to apply a thin coat to all my nails, and I'll cure it for 60 seconds in my big lamp. And I also do my thumb separately so that I cure it properly. It's extension application time, so I have my Gooseneck lamp ready to go. This is only for flash curing. It helps to put your extensions on in place, but after you applied all your extensions, you're going to want to cure your entire hand in the big lamp for 60 seconds just to make sure it's fully cured. So to adhere the extensions, you're going to take more of your Extend Gel and you're going to paint a thin layer right where you think your nail is, very thin. And then you're going to want to pool some at the bottom. This kind of takes some practice to know how much to pool at the bottom. And I like to apply mine a little further away than my cuticle so I have a more natural grow out. And then I'm going to apply at a 45-degree angle, putting pressure up until that bubble gets to the end of my nail there. And then I'll go right under my Gooseneck lamp. They're all on now. Now I'm going to kind of scuff away at the shiny layer and to also blend the extension better into that first layer of gel. I forgot to show this technique in my last video, but it works so well. I take some acetone on a brush and then I brush it right where my cuticle is just to really melt in that extension. It just seals it off so well and it makes my nails last so long. Like you saw at the beginning, I had such good retention and I didn't have any lifting whatsoever. So I'm gonna let that dry down a little bit. Then I'm going to apply one last layer of the Aprés Extend Gel just to lock everything in and to create the perfect base for a fun design. And here we are, the extensions are on. They're ready for a design. I'm just going to wipe off the sticky layer with an alcohol wipe. And I'm going to do this hand off camera real quick so we can get to the fun stuff quicker. Getting these base colors on, I first went in with the Mayo Pale Pink shade on my pinky as well as my pointer finger. And I did 2 coats of that, curing in between. This is one of my favorite base colors. It's just such a pretty sheer pink. Then I grabbed my Myth Milo EG06 shade and I painted a super sheer thin coat on my ring finger. And then I went full on my thumb. I did 3 layers on my thumb, curing in between each layer. This is such a gorgeous green. I'm in love with it. Then I went in with my favorite Milky White, which is the Jin.b shade in 110. And I did 3 coats of that on my middle finger. I wanted to incorporate this icy green chrome. Unfortunately, I don't have a proper chrome top coat yet, so I used this one. This is the Jin.b Non-Wipe Overlay Crazy Top Thick Gel. It's super viscous, so I have to like wait a little bit for it to settle if I'm applying it on my full nail. This is more so for designs or gluing on charms and such. So I applied a thin coat of that all over my ring finger and I cured it for 30 seconds. While I was cooking, I prepared my chrome on my silicone tool. Then I really worked that chrome into that top coat. And this chrome is just so pretty, isn't it? Unfortunately, this didn't end up in my final design. It just ended up throwing off the whole look. But enjoy her while she's here, and I did top coat that just so I didn't scuff it up while I was working on my other nails. And here are all the bases on. The first nail I'm going to work on is my ring finger. I practiced these designs earlier and I love the jade effect. So on my nail art palette, I took my Myth Milo EG06 shade D-Gel in the shade DS046, Dvok white gel, and another Myth Milo in EG07. And a little bit of the Milky White I went in with, Jin.b 110 shade. Then I used a little bit of the white and the Milky White to create an in-between shade, and I started creating this veining with this nail art brush. And this doesn't have to be perfect. The more jagged, the better, honestly, for this kind of stone appearance. Then I took a dry brush and I started smudging one side of that line to make it look like it's faded a little bit, but I still wanted to have that crisp veining on one of the sides. And I wiped my brush off often so it would remove some of the white product to get it to fade nice. And then once I was happy with that, I cured it for 30 seconds. Then I did another sheer coat of that first base coat I went in with. The trick to do these kind of jade-like looks, oh my god, Lani jump scare. But the key to the jade look is definitely little tiny layers. It's actually really fun. You don't have to be so structured with it. The more haphazard you are with it, the better they turn out, I found. So I splotched on some of the darker greens and I also highlighted some of the white veining again to bring it more to the forefront. And once I was happy with the design, I did one final layer of that initial base color. I have these really fun seashell pieces. I've done this nail art before, but not on a Milky White base. I was really excited to see how it turned out. So basically, I just picked out a few seashell pieces that I thought were pretty and cohesive with my nail shape and also the colors in the nail set already. This is super easy to do and it looks so good. Then I applied a thin layer of nail glue and I applied those little seashells on. And once I was happy with the configuration, I flash cured it. I was considering leaving it as is because I really liked how the naked seashells looked just all over the nail, but I really wanted to do some isolated chrome. So first you have to apply a nice coat of a matte gel. I use the Dvok one. It's fantastic if you're doing isolated chrome. So you want to make sure that matte top coat is pretty saturated all over the nail and all in between those seashells. And while that was cooking, I mixed a little bit of my Mostiv black gel with some of the Crazy Top thick gel. This will make the gold chrome pop more, and I'll also be able to see where I applied it better. And with this on a nail art brush, I just outlined every seashell piece, and once they were all outlined, I kind of created some like spider webby effects, and I just made it look a little bit more organic. Once I was happy with that, I flash cured it for 30 seconds while I was preparing for the chrome, and this is always the most satisfying part. Oh my goodness. So I just rubbed that all into that black base I created, and then I wiped off the excess with a little cosmetic sponge just to make sure I removed all those floating glitter pieces, and then I top coated, and this just revealed the beautiful shine of the seashells again. It was so satisfying. And I top coat right when I do chrome so it doesn't get scuffed up when I'm working. Oh, I was in love with this. I was doing this for like at least 2 minutes. Then on my thumb, I decided to do something a little bit more simple, and I just threw on a bunch of these little seashell pieces kind of in a soft S shape. Super easy, but very, very pretty. I loved the end result. The seashells on top of this gorgeous green just does it for me. Now I attempted this nail. I left it in just so you could see. I did attempt another 3D flower. I need to practice these on my little practice nails, but this just ended up failing. Although now that I'm looking at the footage, it doesn't look that bad. I just knew I wasn't going to be able to handle looking at that for the next couple weeks. So unfortunately, I did restart. For my pinky, I decided to do a full gold chrome nail, so I ended up covering my nail with that black mixture, and then I created these kind of 3D elements to add a little bit of texture and interest to it. Then I covered the whole thing in that gorgeous gold chrome. And these silicone tools apply chrome so much better than the little classic eyeshadow applicators. Really gets in there and polishes up that chrome perfectly. And I make sure to top coat just underneath of my nail just so that my chrome doesn't chip. I find when I use chrome on a full nail, my nails will chip, so capping with some top coat really helps. Then this is my second attempt at my flower nail. It went a lot better. This milk jam stuff is a little difficult for me to work with. I find that it gets kind of puffy. Then I painted the outside of the flower with the Dvok white. Once I was happy with that, I cured it a little bit. Then I filled it in with that green I used on my thumb and my ring finger. After curing that green in place, I also used a little bit of that olive green just to add a little bit of shadow and just more detail into the flower. This round went way better than my first. Then in the center of the flower, I placed one of these little gold gems. I thought this would benefit a lot from a chrome detailing, so I covered that entire nail again with the matte top coat. And with that black gel mixture, I just highlighted and traced the outer edges of this flower, and I also covered the middle gold gem I used because that gold didn't match the chrome gold and it was bugging me. I once again cured for 30 seconds and then I added the chrome, and this just brought this nail to the next level. I loved this now. Now working on my other hand, unfortunately all my camera batteries were dead and my chargers weren't working fast enough, but I am going to order more batteries so future videos you'll be able to see both hands. I love doing the jade nails, so I did 2 of them on this hand. And then for my middle finger, I was considering doing another flower, but it just took me way too much time, so I just did a Frenchie, and then I ended up adding a little starfish gem to it, which I really liked. You may see there was 3 green rhinestones. I decided to switch it out for the starfish. I just felt like the 3 green rhinestones threw off the look for me. And on my ring finger on this hand, I did another one of those seashell chrome nails. And after many hours of fun work, here are my nails. I think my favorite nails from this set are the jade ones. I just love how they turned out and I can't wait to improve on the technique. They were so fun to do. And I really like this little junk nail I ended up doing on my thumb. Although I had to redo a few of the nails, I just love the end result. The last thing I'm going to do is add some cuticle oil generously because our cuticles have been through it. And And I'm also going to put some hand cream on. These are my go-to for the daytime, but at night I'll put on some cuticle oil again and I'll douse my hands in this. This stuff is awesome. And it really helps to heal like my little calluses from knitting and such too. And here's my set of nails for the next 4 weeks, or until I get the itch to do them again. But that's going to be all from me. I really hope you enjoyed today's nail video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in anything I used, I'll have it all listed in the description box down below, so feel free to check that out. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!